What I see here is still the same landmass, but the longer I look, the less it feels like land. The image begins to resemble something abstract, a surface covered in signals, a dark field interrupted by points of intensity. From this distance, the lights no longer feel small, they feel deliberate, placed, as if someone decided where illumination should exist and where it should not. The darker areas become more noticeable over time. At first, attention goes to the bright clusters. Later, the absence of light starts to dominate. Large regions remain almost completely dark, not empty, but quiet in this representation. These dark areas interrupt continuity. They break the illusion that the entire land is active in the same way. They introduce unevenness. Some lights appear isolated, single points far from larger clusters. They stand alone, surrounded by darkness. Others are tightly packed, so close together that they lose individuality. They merge into glowing masses. The image does not show transitions clearly. It jumps between extremes, bright or dark, dense or sparse. This makes the image feel simplified, reduced, filtered. Whatever does not emit light is removed from visibility. Whatever does emit light remains. From this perspective, illumination becomes the only language. There is no texture, no color variation beyond brightness, no surface detail. Everything becomes binary, on or off, visible or invisible. The coastline becomes easier to see over time, not because of water, but because light stops abruptly at the edge. The shape of the land is defined by absence. Where the lights end, the continent ends. Water appears as emptiness, a surrounding void, not active, not marked. The contrast between land and water is created entirely by human presence, not by nature, not by geography. Without the lights, the land would dissolve into darkness. Without the lights, the image would lose structure. This view depends entirely on artificial illumination. It is a portrait made possible by energy. The image does not show roads, but the patterns suggest them. Thin lines connect clusters. They are faint but persistent. They imply movement, even though none is visible. These lines suggest connection, not proximity, but linkage. The image feels static, yet it represents constant activity, millions of moments compressed into stillness. From this distance, time disappears. Night becomes a single condition, not a sequence. The image does not show when lights turned on or when they might turn off. It only captures that they are on. This freezes activity into permanence, as if this configuration is stable, as if it always looks like this. The longer the image is observed, the more it feels detached from reality. Cities lose scale, states lose borders, regions lose identity. Everything becomes relative brightness. Some areas appear dominant simply because they emit more light. Others recede because they do not. Importance is implied through visibility, not through meaning. This is not how people experience the land. It is how the land appears when observation removes detail. From here, human presence is measured by output, by energy use, by illumination. The image does not show life directly. It shows the side effects of life. Electricity becomes the proxy for existence. The darker regions are not empty. They are just quieter in this language. This makes the image incomplete, selective, focused on one variable only. And yet, it feels comprehensive, as if it tells the whole story. This contradiction remains unresolved. The image looks authoritative, scientific, objective, but it is also deeply reductive. It shows where activity concentrates without explaining why. It shows presence without context. The longer the image is observed, the more it stops feeling like a photograph and starts feeling like a measurement, a snapshot of usage, a moment of output. The land is no longer land. It is a distribution, a surface defined by brightness values. This is not a view meant for humans. It is a view meant for distance, a perspective where individuality disappears and systems become visible. This is the continent translated into light. And this is what remains when everything else is too small to matter. And this is what I see